Hello there, fellow golfers. I am Boomer out of Chicago, and I just thought I'd do a quick video on the evolution of ping. Not a complete evolution, just a brief evolution of ping. So I grabbed a couple of clubs out of the old bags here, and so ping's been around 35 years. The original pings were really great clubs, kind of a revolution in the way that we played golf. And look how low that front end is compared to nowadays. Isn't that great? Nice sweeping side. So these were the old Karsten pings, the Ping I. And then they came out with the I2. These, with this cavity back, revolutionized the way the game is played. Really, they are so forgiving. These are still excellent clubs today. You can still hit these as long as anything else, just about. They're very forgiving. Excellent, excellent club. And these were the steel shafts. They were the ZZ lights that they came out with. And then they didn't make too much of a change. It's not too much of a difference there, except for one thing. There's a plus. The Ping I2 and the Ping I2 Plus. Now it just had to do with a little more perimeter weighting. But these are also the fiberglass that came out. Now, there's another one here. So these have the ping shafts. This is a new old stock club. You'll notice that a lot of mine have the original stickers still on them. They've never been used. These are old stock that I had from back in the day, or someone else had back in the day and I acquired. But it's been a lot of evolution throughout the years, and all these clubs are still excellent to play with. If you can get a hold of a set of any of these, I would highly recommend it. So after the I's, they went to the I3, and this is a lefty, but you can see similar design to the I2s, but just a little more mass right here. And that was to give you a little more distance. And again, these are excellent clubs. I have a set of these I play with every once in a while. I enjoy them a lot. Then they went to the G series. And again, very similar to the I. You can see that perimeter weighting, they just slight changes. Just like buying a car, every year they make slight changes. But these are very nice clubs, very forgiving. The only real difference between a G20 and a G2 is a little more distance. The technology's changed slightly. Now they have shafts that are detachable. You can remove your shaft, upgrade your shaft. You can still do that with these, but it's a heating up, gluing process. Whereas now they just snap in, snap out. So there's been a lot of progress over the years. They came out with different materials. These are the high lofted ones. These are very sought after. It's just a couple degrees off. You can see there's a HL, high loft. It just has a little more loft to it to get the ball up in the air more than your standard club. I don't know if you can kind of make out that difference, just a little more loft. But before they were done with the I2s, they tried different materials. And so this is the Beryllium Copper, and I'm sure you've heard about. People went crazy about this over like the last 2 years trying to get a set of these. And I picked up these 10 years ago for 50 bucks. I shined up this one. I did not shine the 8. So this is the sandwich. They're really nice clubs. They're very nice. They have good feel. They're fun to play with. They're eye-catching. People see these clubs in your bag and everyone comes up and wants to talk to you about them. So it's hard to play a full round without having conversations about your clubs. But, I mean, they're very nice. Toxic, apparently. So I don't think touching them is necessarily dangerous, but licking them and cleaning them and getting the dust in the air can be bad. So where do we leave off here? On the I3s, the G2s, So then there was a number of other evolutions, and size of the cavity, weighting on the perimeter, different shafts. So these are ping shafts. And these pings are LD V3s, and these are Diva shafts 101. So this is part of the same set. New. These are number matching, and these have a different shaft. So I don't know what the reason for that was, but it is what it is. So they tried a number over the years. So they went to the I5s, the 10s, the 15s. So this is a I10 compared to, I got a 15 in here somewhere. So here's a 15. So there's a drastic change there. You can see they look very similar, and they're about the same size. They're just slight changes, moving the weight forward and back a little bit. But again, excellent club. They're all great clubs. What's the difference between a sports car, you know, an original Cobra, the kit cars? I mean, they're all fun, big motors. Clubs are the same way. So then they had the, I call the dark years, where they went to the Ping Zing. Now the Ping Zing, in my opinion, just has this little tail flip. So when you look down at it, you see this stick out. Now, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that look. When I look down a club, I'm going to grab a right-handed one here. That's the edge I want to see. If you can see that, that's just a little weird. Maybe if you had one on this side to even it off. But so that was the Ping Zing. And then they came out with the Ping Zing 2. And so what did they change in Ping Zing 2? Well, I'll tell you, they got rid of that wing. A lot of people complained about that. It was very thick right here. This is a little more narrow. They're trying to get the perimeter weighting, like on the I2s, where it goes around the club. And in my opinion, the Ping Zing was a fail, and this was a slight improvement. And then they went with another attempt, which was the ISI. Now, again, they look very similar. And I'm not going to get into all the knockoffs. I mean, I've got tons of these knockoff sets where they're other brands. They use the same molds. They change them slightly. But you can see they're trying to give you an idea that this is the center. And that circle right there, that's where the weighting used to be in some of the other clubs. You know, like the Ping, older ones. But again, it's a similar shape. Let's see if I can get that. Well, let's try this way. Very similar. Body shape is very similar. This little indentation around the perimeter is bringing more weight to the corners, whereas this one, they just made it a little thicker. So, lots of changes over the years. There's a 10, this is the 15. So, these were nice clubs. I don't think they advertised a lot. Maybe there was just not a lot of excitement at the time. Perhaps this was I think about the time Callaway and TaylorMade really started making a big scene in the area of golf, where a lot of people were learning about their clubs. And you know, they make great clubs. You know, I wouldn't get their first sets of clubs, like the I2s, are still excellent clubs and highly sought after. So then we have, this is more of a blade, where it has a large hunk of metal, a lot of weight on the bottom there, and it still has a cavity. These are the what we got there, S57s. So these were great clubs. I found them less forgiving, but when you hit a good shot, you can feel the shot. And that's what I think is a lot of Ping clubs offer. And this, by the way, this only brings us up to about 12 years ago. so I don't want to have a 2-hour video. But on the older clubs, the I2s, the I3s, you have a lot of feel, and when you hit a ball, you can feel where you're hitting it on the face. You can feel it through the shaft, and it's very nice to get that response immediately. On some clubs, when you hit a shot, you don't feel it. So I hope that's been helpful. A quick romp around a few of my pings. So thank you for watching, and I'll have another video shortly. Thank you. Subscribe.